everybody, and welcome to today's video. A couple weeks ago I promised to all of you that I would be making a pantry pull meal using rice, and we are using up a lot of rice. Now I eat little bits of rice in my meal plans. My husband absolutely loved this recipe. It is from the Fix It and Forget It, the big cookbook, the crockpot cookbook. People need to learn to eat this food because rice is something very important as a cheap staple food, and it stores for many, many years. We are going to be using some cheap cuts of meat, which I'm going to have a narration and explain that all to you. And after you see the video, then I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and then I'll talk to you just a little bit. All right, so I've got this on sale half off for $5.75. In order to save money, I'm going to cut it up in cubes. This will give me 2 meals. So we're actually gonna have 2 meals out of this. So I will be eating for $2.50 with the meat. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut this up. First, I'm gonna cut the fat off of it. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put this in the freezer. I'm going to divide this into 2 meals with potatoes and carrots. We have 4 meals. I collect a lot of cookbooks, but one of my favorites still is the Fix It and Forget It. And I love the big cookbook because it's a lot of her cookbooks all in one. And it makes it so easy to put things together, especially if you don't really like spending a lot of time in the kitchen. I like being outside, and when the sun is out, I'd rather spend time out there, and I love having the crock pot to make these meals. I will share with you the recipe here in just a moment. So I am using both the bags of beef because I'm making an extra large portion of it. That way we have leftovers for other people that come to eat at our house. So we're going to go ahead and we mix the meat with the marinade, which is absolutely amazing. And then I'll show you what we add to that. We're going to be adding some green beans. We're going to be adding some other ingredients. It's just absolutely amazing. Now, this is the first time I've ever made this, so I was a little bit unsure as exactly how to put it all together. But let me show you what it looks like in step 2. Step 1 is we're getting all of the ingredients to make the marinade to put in the beef. The marinade called for some mustard, a little bit of chili pepper. I really didn't measure. I just added the garlic. Oh, it's just absolutely so amazing. And this was the marinade that you coated the meat with. And then what you're going to do is put it in the crock pot, and then you're going to add some other ingredients. It was very different, but it was so good. It does call for kidney beans in it as well, and that is what makes it such a great staple, because a lot of people have kidney beans and a lot of people have rice and have all of these things in their cupboards. You really wouldn't have to have the meat if you didn't want the meat, and then you would make it for pennies on the dollar. All right, into the meat mixture we're going to add the kidney beans. You could probably use any bean that you wish, but kidney beans is something that we have a lot of, and that's what it called for. And then it calls for 1 quart of chopped tomatoes. And I used my home canned chopped tomatoes. Smell it, make sure it's sealed right, and we're going to put them in. It's somewhat like a chili, I guess you could call it, but it really didn't taste much like chili. It was just absolutely a different flavor for us, and it was really good. Now let me show you what else we're going to put in it. Some people say to look at nature to find out what the winter is going to be like. If that's the case, then we're going to have a really rough winter. I was initially saving all of the walnuts because I thought we were going to eat them. Well, With the change of my thinking, I don't think we're going to be eating those walnuts, but I did save some to use as dye. I love dyeing clothing and making my own ink, and I'm going to try using the walnut dye to make my own printer ink. That will be in a future video. And well, I'm so glad I got that done. Making meals with rice is so easy and it's so cost efficient, and a little bit of rice is good to eat too. I enjoy the rice. It gives me a lot of energy. So when I talk about carbohydrates, I'm really talking about more processed foods. Now, of course, brown rice would probably be better for you. I just don't necessarily enjoy eating brown rice, and we have rice here that we need to eat. We are eating our preps. We are using our preps. We can't just go ahead and say for the last 12 years of storing up food that we're not going to use any of that. I think it's all in moderation, and to use things wisely and to eat wisely as well. I feel really good eating little bits of protein here and there, and it's really helping me. So here's the difference. People say, well, you're prepping now. What is different with what happened to you with your meals compared to before? Nothing. Nothing's changed. So I still am eating the rice. I'm still eating carbs. I should have said in my videos way back when I explained everything that I still eat carbs, but I'm not eating Twinkies, donuts, Little Debbie's, do 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 do, you know, do 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 do. You know, it's kind of like what else? Like all of the stuff that has the preservatives in them, like that. So I'm eating rice. I'm eating white potatoes. I'm not eating the breads as much. I did show a video where I got bagels. Now that was before all of this, and I do eat a half of a bagel. And I will eat them to finish them up, but I'm not eating a full bagel, and I'm not eating the cream cheese. You have to understand, I was eating things in like large quantities. So I feel a lot better. You know, it's not about weight loss, and I wanted to explain that to you. It's not about weight loss for me. It has nothing to do with that. In fact, if I was healthy, I don't mind being overweight. I actually think I look nicer when I'm a little bit overweight. It's just all about my diet and all about eating healthy and keeping myself out of the ER and keeping myself out of the doctor's office.